Welcome.
Welcome to
Cigar.
Cigar
Public.
And welcome to Cigar Public.
Hello everybody, my name is Alex Mesrobian. I'm a writer and cigar reviewer for Cigar Public.
Sitting here with Alex Mesrobian, fellow Cigar Public reviewer, and it's very good to talk to you today, sir.
Pleasure, Joe. Pleasure.
How have you been enjoying PCA so far this year?
It's been a blast,
This
man.
is my first one.
Yeah.
And it's exceeded all expectations for me so far.
Yeah, same. It's been a little overwhelming at times, but very fun. Lots
Yeah.
of people to meet, lots of things to see, lots of cigars to smoke. Very fun. Yeah.
Let's start a little bit about how you got into cigars in the first place and how you got to a point where you were actually wanting to do reviews.
It all started with my father. He was smoking cigars during the initial boom. I want to say during the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was very passionate about cigars. He had a locker at this cigar lounge in Pasadena called Hamilton's. I remember being taken there as a little kid. And as I got older, he would slowly try to introduce me to cigars. And I remember smoking a Romeo Cuban for the first time.
Wow.
Got to about half an inch before I put it down. It's a bit tough to get through. But
It's a hell of a first cigar to have.
It is. And I didn't know what I was smoking. Yeah. But little by little over the years, started becoming more attracted to cigars, appreciating cigars more, enjoying the flavors more. And that led me to, being curious. And when I become curious about anything, I start becoming passionate and wanting to dive in fully.
Yeah.
And I started being interested in developing my palate and doing it a little bit more seriously.
And what were some of the things that really helped you personally to develop your palate, to kind of expand your horizons and understanding what it is that you were actually getting out of flavors and textures from cigars?
For me, it's a combination of other cigar reviewers like yourself, cigar publications, but also the wine industry.
Sure, yeah.
The beer industry, the food industry, anything pertaining to flavors, to aroma, whether it's videos, books, anything I could manage to get my hands on and read or see, I thought would help me in some way.
Certainly, smoking a wider variety of cigars definitely helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, if you're smoking the same, forget the same brand. Let's say you just find out that you're attracted to Nicaraguan tobacco, which I am. I'm a sucker for Nicaraguan tobacco. It's definitely my jam. It's what I go to a lot. But if I only did that, I would not have a very well-rounded or well-educated palate because I'm effectively smoking just the same types of tobacco over and over again.
Very
you
true.
need to be able to expand and try what other regions, other countries, other strains can offer in the different combinations thereof.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. I grew up, and I think this relates to a little bit, I grew up hating tomatoes.
Exactly.
And-
Me too.
And I forced myself I was like, everybody says they're good for you. So I would just force myself to eat tomatoes, just partly for the health of it, but to expand my palate in a way, just to start to appreciate different nuances of things I don't like.
Yeah.
To try to be more objective as a cigar reviewer,
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the process
Sure.
in doing reviews for Cigar Public. Obviously, you and I are very familiar with how it goes, but talk to people about what sets apart Cigar Public's reviewing process from other review platforms.
Well, I think the fact that we all wear G-strings prior to doing our cigar reviews definitely.
You're not supposed to tell people about
I mean,
that.
it's part of our process. So come on, Joe. You got to let everybody know sometime.
I didn't mean to draw the curtain back that much.
As far as our team, what I enjoy about it is there's a nice size to our team,
Yes.
which gives varying points of views, which I think is a benefit.
Yeah.
To be honest, and the ability for all of us to communicate and get on the same page and learn from each other.
Right.
As opposed to, say, a 5-man basketball team versus a 15-man basketball team. There's more personalities. Sure, sometimes things could be more difficult,
Right.
but there's more information
Exactly.
and knowledge to be shared.
And a diversity of perspectives, too.
Absolutely.
And that's huge because I'll have had a cigar before and I'll read some of the other fellow reviewers' take on it, and I'll think to myself, I've had that cigar, and I don't remember some of these, and I'll revisit it, and I'll be damned. There, and I missed it.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
I'll oftentimes on my own channel on YouTube, I'll do review, and oftentimes I'll have a guest reviewer sit in and do the review with me. And between segments, we will kind of act as sounding boards for each other. It's like, are you getting this? No, let me see what you're talking about. And sometimes it's like, no, I'm just not getting that.
Yeah.
And that could be a difference of, there could be an anomaly in that individual cigar.
Sure.
Or my palate is just different enough from yours where I'm not going to detect that as strongly as
Yeah.
yours. So having that diversity of perspectives with the review team is big. But also,
agree.
we do blind reviews.
Yeah, which is, to me, I think that's everything.
That is.
I mean, what
it's
is
very
a review if
unbiased.
it's not objective?
right.
Yeah, and I think that's very important. And that process has helped me to become a better reviewer too, because
Yeah.
prior to it, even when you're reviewing a cigar with a band on it, not doing it in such a serious way, you're still influenced.
Yeah, you are. And good brand management will take into account the colors and themes that they use for their box art, their band work. For example, Southern Draw, one of their more recent one was the Manzanita.
Yes.
And it was named after the Holt family when they were looking through AJ's stash of cigar wrappers that they could choose from for their newest blend. They came across one that had a reddish hue to it.
Yeah.
And so they went to this name, which Manzanita, which is little red apple in
Yeah,
Spanish.
apple.
And a lot of people talk about getting apple notes out of
of
this.
course.
And it's like, okay, they went with a theme and they were doing their best to draw. And honestly, I do think that there's apple notes in that cigar, having had it a few times myself and actually done a review on it. But I think what a good manufacturer, a good brand owner does is if there is something about a blend's flavor profile that they're trying to draw people's attention to, they'll use the branding to highlight it.
I agree.
And it's to me, it's an analogy in the food world. A good chef knows how to present his dish.
Yeah.
It's not just about the way it tastes and smells. You've got to present it. And the first impression any diner has on the dish that they have is how it looks.
Yeah, and what good would it be to mislead the audience?
Right.
And put an avocado on a cigar that
does not have anything to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know if we want any avocados in any cigar, but as a fan of avocado, maybe I do.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
Maybe in
something
texture,
I should.
some
maybe
oils in
yeah,
there.
some cream.
Yeah, we can get behind that. So what's the thing that you enjoy most about doing cigar reviews and what makes you keep coming back to it? You're not getting bored with it, obviously. Neither am I. So what is it that keeps drawing you back?
I think the thirst for becoming a better just cigar reviewer. I enjoy the process tremendously, and I think I could always become better at what I do. I don't think there's personally some master level. Maybe there is. Maybe there. I mean, for a lot of the gentlemen on farms and a lot of the manufacturers.
I don't think there's anyone better than that.
Yeah, I mean they're doing it all day, every day. It's ingrained in their blood.
Right.
But yeah, it's the cigars. It's the thirst for wanting to become better. For some reason, I'm a nerd about educating my palate and becoming better at it. It's something that's always interested me. Yeah.
On a grander scale, though, every time there's a new cigar out, there's a new connection to be made.
Absolutely.
Not just interiorly with yourself. You learn something new about tobacco every time a new blend comes out, which is just fascinating to me. You've got these seemingly simple plants that grow these green leaves, and after doing the right aging, fermentation, blending, they can have just a myriad of flavor experiences.
It's incredible, yeah.
And there's so much you just keep unearthing when you smoke a new blend.
Yeah.
But also interpersonally, if some blend speaks to someone and you make a connection with that person, if you have at least a semblance of a similar experience with that blend with them, there's a personal connection to be made there.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to me how many times that happens anytime a new blend comes out. You would think that all blending possibilities would eventually become exhausted. I'm not sure that's ever going to happen.
I don't think it has. Yeah,
it's incredible.
It's like chess. I mean, there's a limited amount of pieces, and what is it, 64 squares?
Seemingly an infinite number of possibilities.
Yeah, and it'll continue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something
that's what gets me excited.
Yeah, man. Yeah, amen.
Alex, thanks so much for coming
Joe,
by.
thank
Have
you
a
so
great
much,
show.
man. Pleasure.
Love your reviews. Check out Alex on Cigar Public. Alex Mesrobian on cigarpublic.com.